It's your lucky day. Abe Lincoln, face up on the sidewalk. Better move quick, he'll be gone any second. Right?
Did you see what you just walked over?
I did not.
Well then, how about 2 pennies for their thoughts?
What do you see on the ground next to you?
Concrete.
Make it 5 cents.
I don't want them.
And maybe you see a trend here. At a growing number of businesses, including Mike's Bikes in San Rafael, pennies have fallen from favor.
They're just annoying. And so that's how the whole thing started.
You got nickels, dimes, quarters, dollars. No pennies?
No pennies.
Now at Mike's, every cash transaction rounds down to the nearest nickel in a customer's favor. Their reaction has been overwhelmingly underwhelming.
Whatever is easier. I don't care. Am I helping?
In terms of cold cash, the store estimates this new policy will cost about $2,000 a year.
And you're gaining?
We're gaining much more than that in time.
All right, 50 cents.
In the macro, however, what we're witnessing here appears to be an entirely new take on how a penny saved now means nothing in the real world. Except at fuel pumps, of course, where even tenths of pennies still matter. But offer a guy 50 real ones on the sidewalk?
You don't want them?
No.
They're a hassle. They make noise in your pocket.
According to the government, each new penny now costs roughly 1.7 cents to make, rendering each a loss from the start. But there have been exceptions in history. Up the street at San Rafael Rare Coin, Roger Tobin showed us a 1909 penny minted in San Francisco that's actually worth $4,000. What happened?
You should be asking what happened to the dollar.
Nobody's noticed them. Nobody wants to go through the effort to take 50 cents off the street.
You know what? I'm about to.
So William Tiffin did. Maybe a guy needs to be out of work in a tough economy to still appreciate pennies.
It means hope. Hope that you will have more.
It took William about 30 seconds to scoop those coins. You know, that's not a bad hourly rate.
So how about putting $50 down for me now?
They say a Lincoln penny's lucky.
You have a good day.
See ya, bro.
Woo!
But not that lucky. From San Rafael, Wayne Freedman, ABC 7 News. In Vallejo, she's a curiosity, a doomed old cargo ship once known as the Solon Turman. She's rusty, she's peeling. As people watch, she's disappearing piece by piece, and that makes her the first of her kind around here, in a way.
We were shipbuilders, not shipwreckers.
When the Navy abandoned Mare Island in 1996, it left behind an empty shell. 6,000 people lost their jobs. The city of Vallejo would go bankrupt. It was one indignity after another.
Well, things went downhill, you know. A lot of hard times when you ain't got money.
Tony Avila lived it. His father was one of the men laid off from the base. That closure started a personal skid that would lead Tony to drugs, alcohol, prison. He went so long without a job that he's still paying off a car repair by working for a mechanic after hours. So when the Solon Turman arrived for dismantling, Tony saw it as a way to support his wife and a daughter who'd lost faith in him.
She had never seen me be so persistent, and I stood at Mare Island for 3 months, Monday through Friday, every single day. And they would tell me, no, we're not hiring, no, we're not hiring. And I wouldn't hear of it. You know, I kept staying there and I'd just tell them, you know, well, sir, if you need my help, I'm here. I'm here in case you need me, I'm here. I'm here, I just want a chance.
Tony finally did get a break because he had training as a welder, and Jay Annist, who runs the recycling operation, wanted to hire locals from Vallejo.
It's a bit of pressure. Everybody expects us to have 25,000 people and whistles blowing 4 times a day. We're just not that big, but you know, we're a small component in the revitalization of this area.
A small component devouring a 690-foot ship with 1-inch thick steel, one chunk at a time.
In theory, at least, you'd think it might be fairly straightforward, just a matter of cutting, lifting, placing, and eventually disposing. But when each of those pieces weighs as much as 40,000 pounds, you know it gets complicated.
Begin with stuff like the asbestos, the PCBs, the lead-based paints. When a burner like Tony torches that steel, the air fills with toxins. This may be a dream job, but it's hard work and it's dangerous.
When they get burned, sometimes it's hot, you're sweating, you know. and it's constant.
We need to drift it out this way and away from that other piece.
The removal process happens methodically, but on a very large scale, from top to bottom. Bill McNeil pre-calculates the weight of every piece.
Any one of us that's been doing it for a long time can come within 10% just looking at a piece.
Swing right.
Imagine all those tons balanced so perfectly that a 200-pound man can push them around with either hand. With every stage, what's left of the soul interment gets smaller and smaller. She will yield 9,000 tons of mostly steel when finally chewed up. What began as a ship finishes as scrap. In a once busy place like Mare Island, these are a far cry from the glory days when ships arrived in pieces and left intact. But 10 miles away in Sassoon Bay, the mothball fleet has 50 others like the Soul Interment. And as Tony Avila knows all too well, pieces can make a man and a city whole again.
Your dad, what would your dad say about this?
Oh man, my dad. He would just say, I'm proud of you, son.
From Vallejo, Wayne Freedman, ABC 7 News. There's something missing in this picture. It's a guy in a coffee joint doing what many of us do, writing, except where's the computer?
I am definitely a Luddite.
Not that Ward Dunham opposes technology, he just doesn't need it, especially when forming thoughts and handcrafting them on paper. He's old-fashioned that way.
Nobody writes anymore. I think handwriting is probably history. It's on the way out.
So let's think about that. When did you last scribble a thank you note? And when was that last text? Call it evolution if you like, but in our need for speed, most of us have lost touch with the power of the pen. We live in an era when typewriters have yielded to computer keyboards and salutations to colons making smiley faces. What's with that?
They do not teach handwriting in schools at all.
Wanna bet?
Must have been a Catholic school.
Oh, yes.
We're losing the individuality of each one of us.
So saith Sister Antonella, principal at St. Catherine of Siena in Burlingame.
Uppercase starts where? Here?
At St. Catherine, uppercase starts in the lowest levels. Just ask the 5-year-olds staring into their Zahner Bloser workbooks.
Sister, tell me the truth. Who has better handwriting these days? Kindergartners or the average guy?
I think kindergarten.
You're not doing cursive yet, are you?
Not yet.
Are you worried about it?
At St. Catherine of Siena, students don't have a choice. They will learn to write in cursive. And if they have a problem with it,
That's okay. Slowly the child will learn.
how many of you guys like cursive writing?
Sure they do. They love the symmetry.
You should have good slant and spacing.
They love how E stands for endless.
I don't use E's that much.
Well, write it again anyway. Slower.
My pinky gets them.
At St. Catherine, learning cursive writing is a tradition passed down through generations. Gertrude Spreckles did it, and Dick Swint, and Mary Syracuse, because back in the day, as now, neatness counted as penmanship students weaved long, curvy paths to intellectual discipline. By the time they leave this place, it's as ingrained as hopscotch.
Thinking and writing. Thinking and writing. They go together.
So someday in the real world, if computers fail and the Luddites gain their revenge,
Texting?
Yeah.
I don't have a clue.
then maybe we'll find new appreciation for those who express themselves by hand.
I like my hearts. It makes it look all girly and feminine. And if you have open letters and open hearts, means you're a friendly, outgoing person.
And remember, that word expression, it begins with an E.
Okay, let's say we took away E for the rest of your life. Would you like that?
No.
The children are learning. From Burlingame, Wayne Freedman, ABC 7 News.